This video will look at adding and subtracting with positive and negative integers. 3 things to remember. If you have the same signs together, they will equal a positive. So a positive and a positive next to each other, we know equals a positive. A negative and a negative next to each other, a double negative, actually is equal to a positive. If you have opposite signs together, so a positive and a negative, that equals a negative, or if that was flipped around the other way and you had a negative and a positive, that's equal to a negative. The last thing, it can be really helpful to draw a number line and think of where you are working from, and then depending on whether you're adding, you move in the positive direction, or if you're subtracting, moving in the negative direction. Let's look at these examples. I'm going to draw number lines to assist me. In this one, we have 4 minus 10. So that means we are starting at positive 4. We are taking away 10, so that means we're taking away 10 in the negative direction. So if I take away 4, I get to 0. Then there are still 6 left to take away, so I end up at negative 6. 4 take away 10 is equal to negative 6. Second question is negative 7 take away negative 9. So in this one, we are already starting at negative 7. Then we are subtracting 9 more, so we're going 9 more in the negative direction, taking away 9 in the negative direction. So negative 7, take away another 9 more, negative 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, hopefully, just try to visualise one with the numbers along the lines. Hopefully you're able to do this mentally, but the number line to visualise can help. Last one. We're starting at negative 7 and then we're adding 11. So we're going to add 11 in the positive direction. So we add 11, we're clearly going to go past 0. It takes us adding 7 to get to 0. So then it is another 4 left over to add. So negative 7 plus 11 is equal to 4. With these questions, we are going to need to use the rules that we learnt on the first page. So you'll see that there are some brackets as well. Sometimes you might see the first one, 4 plus negative 4, written as just 4 plus negative 4 without the brackets. You might see it written either way. As we know from the first page, the rule is if we have opposite signs together, a positive and negative, that's equal to a negative. So we can actually simplify that to make it 4 take away 4. Positive and a negative together is equivalent to a negative. So 4 take away 4, we know 4 take away 4 is equal to 0. So that's the answer to this question. The next one is negative 24 plus negative 8. Or you can always simply leave it as is. So negative 24 will stay the same, but you'll see again that we have a positive and a negative together. So that means we're going to turn that into a negative. So negative 24 take away 8. If we're at negative 24 on the number line and we take away a further 8, we're going to go further into the negatives. So the answer to this question is negative 32. Next question, we'll see we have a double negative. So 6 take away negative 8. Same sign turns into a positive. A double negative is a positive. So the same sign, both negative signs, becomes 6 plus 8, which is then 14. Becomes pretty straightforward if you know that rule. Last example, negative 15 take negative 6. Same theory as before. The double negative, that becomes a positive. 2 negatives is always equal to a positive. So it becomes negative 15 plus 6. So if we're at negative 15 on the number line, and then we add 6 on in the positive direction, we're getting closer to 0. So the answer is going to be negative 9 because we've gotten 6 closer to 0. Important things to remember. A number line can be really helpful to assist you in your calculations. Remember which way is the positive direction and which way is the negative direction. Also remember, if you have opposite signs, negative and a positive, that's equal to a negative. If you have the same sign, they change into a positive. The same accord, 2 positives is always equal to a positive as well.